Hey guys, my name is Donya Howard, and I want to welcome you to Around Cass County Coffee Break. And today we are in Texarkana, and this is Tonja Hottie. We're going to be visiting with her, but first I want to announce who my sponsors are today. And that's Domino Federal Credit Union, Fire and Knives in Linden, Texas, CMB Bank, and the new Texarkana Contractors. So I met Tonja the other day, and I came by the store and was visiting with her, and her place just really struck. And I was like, I've got to be able to share this. So Tonja, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. So our center is called EEnergy Enhancement Center, EEnergy Healing Center, and the EE stands for Energy Enhancement.
I was wondering that because I was like, why is that E in there twice? But okay,
It's
perfect.
not misspelled. I was a
Okay.
teacher formerly, so I'm always clear. It's EE for a reason.
Okay.
Energy Enhancement Healing Center. And the energy enhancement system is the actual system that we use. So I was first introduced to this. I'm a twin by my twin who discovered this through podcasts. And she went to a center near her. She lives around San Antonio area. And I went to Dallas and my husband and I to visit a center that had just opened up in 2023.
Okay.
And so with now previously, my twin and I, at the age of 13, had a rare form of muscular dystrophy. I was on prednisone 17 years. I was very ill. At 30, we took our health in our own hands and really started investigating nutrition and wellness and holistic. And so I say that because being on prednisone so long, when you break a bone, your bones do not heal. They
Right.
don't calcify. So my hip was broke, my hand, my foot, my arm. I have all my right side. But my hip was my main thing. It always hurt. By the end of the day, I was holding back tears. And so within 30 minutes in that center, I was literally crying because I could feel the pain dissipating. And I walked out of that healing center in Dallas. And it was an all day event because you have to travel
Right.
3 hours,
Absolutely.
2 hour session, go to eat, get back.
Yeah. Whole day.
The whole day, but it was so worth it because for 3 weeks I had zero pain in my hip, any of my joints, my feet. So I was sold, and my husband was amazed at the quality and the difference that I felt and that he felt. He did not sleep well at night. He slept all night that night. So it was really from my own personal experience in that center that gave me the passion. Now, I have been in the wellness industry 27 years. I've been a wellness coach. I've helped people with their wellness, nutrition, lifestyle changes. And this just was a perfect fit. So we prayed about it. We sought the Lord's will. He opened up every path, every door, and made a way for this to happen. The timeline was amazing. And in this October, we will have been open 2 years. And so that's really how I became interested, and it was through my own personal testimony.
You know, it's always amazing to me. You were talking about God and everything. And I tell you what, it's really hard to imagine that a God as wonderful as our God doesn't give us things to heal ourselves with, right?
Right.
Frequency is huge. You guys will hear me talk about frequency all day long. So let's talk about the technology a little bit. Don't go overweight on us, but give us a little bit of the technology and how that works.
Okay, you see the color of my hair? Yes. Keeping it simple.
Exactly.
Because honestly, when we researched it, the first thing my husband and I said was, what are scalar
Yeah.
waves?
Yeah.
Like, I had never heard the term. And so we, of course, had to do some deep diving, but it uses scalar energy. So the ocean creates scalar waves. How
Okay.
many of us love to go to the ocean?
Me.
I don't really like the salt water, but I could sit on the beach and listen to the waves. And there's just something about that energy that is refreshing, that makes you want to stay there. That's scalar energy.
Yeah.
So the system is a combination of scalar energy and light therapy. And there's a machine in each four corners of the room. And they create this toroidal field, this field inside of this room that raises the charge on your cells. And God made our bodies with the ability to heal ourselves.
Well, did you know, and I know that you know this, but I'm asking a crazy question, but every single organ in our body works on a different frequency.
Yes.
And so people are like, "Oh, frequency, is that all that hoopla doopla?" No, this is something that's really very scientific, and they know that these frequencies are different for every cell. I mean, for every organ that's out there. And so
Yes.
that's so important to keep your frequency high versus a low frequency. Even a cup of coffee will drop your frequency quickly. I mean, just holding it, you don't even have to drink the coffee and it'll lower your frequency.
Well,
So,
and there's so many things. These devices, sorry,
yep,
touching your phone, cell phones, the chemtrailing they're doing in the skies, the things they put in our food, in the water,
absolutely.
medications, everything
All the
that
chemicals. Oh
chemical
my gosh,
work
everywhere.
against your body. So think of it like your cell phone. We go to bed, we plug in our cell phone, we charge our cell phone, but we've never thought about charging our bodies
And charging ourselves.
and
Yeah.
charging ourselves. And, you know, even music. I was a music major in college, taught school for 17 years before I became a wellness coach in the wellness industry. And even in college in the 89 to 91 era, I was learning about music frequencies and the healing capabilities of music frequencies. So that really, I feel like the Lord has just taken me through an entire journey through my personal experiences, through my college, and all of the things I've been able to do to arrive at this point. And it's been so overwhelmingly exciting and such a blessing to watch people come in one way and leave another way.
That is awesome. And like I said, I can't imagine a God dropping us here on this earth and saying, "Okay, now fend for yourself." No, he gave us everything we needed. He even
Yes.
spoke into existence, which is a vibration. When you speak, you can feel your voice.
Yes.
And that's that vibration that is imbued in everything that's around us in our communities.
Amen.
So, all right, tell me a little bit. I know you've got some stories about some specific clients. Give me
Right.
a couple of those stories.
Okay, so first of all, when people come in to the center, we want them to feel really welcome. We do keep the door locked. It is by appointment only, by design. All of the centers are this way because we don't want the people in there interrupted. On the front of our door, it says by appointment only. Please enter peacefully and quietly. I'm speaking louder than I've ever spoken this center, so it kind of feels weird. But we give them a tour. We explain inside of the energy room. We have two filters. One of them is a hospital grade filter that will filter out any airborne disease within minutes. We also have a dust filter that takes out all dust because that also interferes with the scalar waves. And so we introduce that. We show them where the restroom is. We show them how to get in and out of the chairs. I wasn't even shown, and it's my own fault, but I did not even know how to work a zero gravity. I couldn't
Yeah.
lock it. I didn't know how to lock it. So everything is valuable. I teach them how to lock the chair because my chair kept raising and there was nobody there to show us. So we always meet brand new clients. I give them the tour and show them how. And then a 2 hour session is a full session. A 1 hour is a half session. And so when you go into the session, as your cells charge, it's going to start cleaning house and getting rid of all of the things that don't belong in those cells,
Right.
toxins and chemicals and all of the things that aren't by God's design supposed to be there,
Right.
and they are kicked out into your system. So then after you do the session, you will do a 2 hour or a 2 hour, you'll do a detox bath after your 2 hour session.
Now, is the bath here?
No,
It's
great
at home.
point. It's
Okay.
at home.
Okay.
We don't want to see all that. I don't want anybody to see all mine. But this is Dr. Santa Rose Michael's recipe for the detox. There's 6 components. And it's on the label.
Mhm.
And so some of our clients choose to buy all of those materials on their own and make them at home because we have people that come weekly that spend the night 2 or 3 times a month, and they choose to get the materials and make it on their own, or we sell them for $15 a bag.
Oh, that's not
And
bad at all.
no, because the materials are quite expensive.
Yeah.
And you use the entire bag in a bathtub and you soak for 30 minutes to an hour within 24 hours of your session. And what this will do is it will draw the toxins out of the largest organ of your body, which is your skin.
Good. Yep.
Yes.
And we forget about our skin being an organ. I mean, so many
Yes.
people are like, it's just the skin. No, everything that we put into our body through the skin is just awful what we do. So some of these ingredients, I'm not going to list them all, but we got the borax in here and the bentonite clay, green teas, that kind of thing. So all detoxing. And when you soak in this bath, it just draws it all out.
Dead
It's
Sea salt.
amazing.
Yes.
I love this. I'm going to buy me one
Yes.
bottle.
So, and then we also offer them a water bottle. A lot of people that do the overnights will bring jugs of water and charge the water, because not only does it work on your body, it works on the water. We've had people bring pets. We've had phenomenal testimonies on dogs.
Wow.
Amazing testimonies. And
That's
so
interesting.
they bring the crate, they bring their pet and the dog.
Now, do you charge extra for the pet?
It's $25 to bring your pet with you, and
So an additional
and
25.
an additional for the pet. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And your
That's
kids
cool.
do not count as pets.
Are they considered a full person then, or do kids get a
Actually, kids are
discount?
25 as well.
Okay, all right.
12 and under.
That's good to know. All right,
Yes.
great.
Yes. So we have seen everything as far as healings. And when I say everything, your body knows what it needs to work on next. And everyone that comes, and they come multiple times, every session is different for a person. So okay, one of my favorite, and I literally, guys, I could talk for probably 2 weeks on testimonies alone, because it's the testimonies that get me up early and keep me up late. And excitement and gratitude for the Lord for what he's allowed us to live through and see. Do you know RFK, Robert F. Kennedy,
Yeah.
is actually speaking
Yeah.
about these centers?
I did not know that.
Yes, about
I love him.
President Trump has one of these in the White House. Tony Robbins has 4 in his house. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that tells you a little bit.
right. And before, Tony Robbins lost his voice.
Yeah.
And this is what restored his voice and allowed him to go back to motivational speaking.
Which is amazing, by the way.
Oh, 100%. I mean, in our company, we really pay attention to him. And so before these centers came, they were only available for people to purchase and put in their homes. And unless you're like Hollywood star or an elite, you probably don't have the 6 figures that it costs to have one of these in your home.
Right.
Super expensive. And so the company started allowing people to open centers, and that we are one of 500 centers worldwide.
Wow.
We are one of the most inexpensive centers worldwide.
And guys, let me just tell you, we're in Texarkana.
People are floored. Like
Yeah,
we
we're
have
Texarkana.
We have people that drive from Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas. We've had people visiting from California, Florida, New York that look us up because they're used to doing them in their state, and they come to us.
That's amazing.
So I don't quite think people value the exclusivity of the location. They are only available every 2 hours. They will not put another center within a 2-hour block because there's such a need worldwide. They are strategically opening worldwide and it's all mapped out, but in protection for our investment, because we've invested
a
lot, and just for the organic growth globally, because this is a global initiative. And so testimonies. So I have this guy, he first came in with his holistic doctor, and she brought an entire group. For 25 plus years, he had a sudden onset with something in his neck. And for 25 years, when I first met him, he came in and his neck was horizontal. He looked like this. He could not see this way. He has been twice a month and spending the night every Monday, every other Monday. This month will mark a year, and his neck is just slightly bent. Twice it has been straight up. Into Dallas, he's been to all holistic, he's been to all medical doctors, and flat out will tell you to your face, this is the only thing that's allowed his neck to straighten, and he can turn his neck. He had no mobility in his neck. Every session was different. He would notice a couple of gains and 1 step back, and he would evaluate what would happen, and he's very intentional when he comes in. He's not distracted. He does not play on his phone. He meditates, he prays, he envisions and visualizes the healing that he wants to see. And he has been very, very faithful. And so that's one of my favorites. But we have such an amazing group of clientele. So another personal testimony, I have a friend of mine that works with me as a wellness coach, and she had severe allergies, have done all the things, never could breathe through her nose. We had a slumber party. We all slept over here, all our wellness
Oh, I can't
coaches.
believe it. Slumber
Yes,
parties.
we had all of our wellness coaches slept. We're all female, all slept in the center. And within 30 minutes, her daughter like starts hollering, "Mom, you can breathe through your nose." And she actually didn't even realize it. And from that moment forward, her sinuses have been cleared. And that was a year and a half ago. And then she had a boil on her back and really never even shared about it. But it brings to the point of what Dr. Sandra Rose Michael says: if it's appearing, it's clearing. So she's had this boil lanced, cut out, all medications drained, and it always had come back. It had been about 3 overnights and a few 2-hour sessions, and it rose to the top, it busted, and it's been gone for over a year and a half.
That's amazing.
So it really brings to light, if it's appearing, it's clearing. I had a hairdresser that she's one of them that brings her dog, and little Miss Annie knows where she's at when she comes in. She goes and lays down, and Annie had not been able to like walk very well or do anything. And at 2 overnight sessions, they sent me a text and said, "Annie is healed. She jumped the fence today." And
Wow.
so she had hip problems and could barely walk, and she's literally running like a puppy. And what it does is it regrows your telomeres, and you can do the research on that, but on your cells, and it literally reverses your age
From the inside
from
out.
the inside out. But this hairdresser, Annie's mama, had severe eczema, and she had not had a breakout in a while, but her hands and shoulders were sore and tight and all the things. Well, after the first overnight session, she broke out all over her body in eczema, and she was mortified. And I was like, "Hey, if
That's a
it's
good thing.
appearing, it's clearing. It's a good thing. Come back." And
Yeah.
so she did. She came back. She did another overnight the next week and did her detox bath. And that was over a year ago, and she's not had a breakout.
Yeah, and I understand that completely because, I mean, so many times when I'm using essential oils on people,
Hmm.
they may break out on it and they're like, "Oh, I'm allergic to it." It's like, "No, no, 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 it's drawing out what needs to be out."
Right.
And but it does scare people a lot of times. So
Right.
you just have to go with the process. The other thing is we always have to remember that everybody's body is different. They're not gonna react the same way because inside we're all different, right?
Absolutely.
So what you may experience I may not, and vice versa, right?
Well, and even my personal experiences have changed. Like I suffered with migraines. We have had a ton of people that have had migraines. I had a lady come in. She lives in Hope. She drove up. Horrible migraine for 3 weeks. Could not get rid of it. She, within 30 minutes, came out. She was like, "It's unbelievable. My headache's gone." I'm
Mm.
like, "Get back in there. You're not done." And that was the first week we opened. She bought a package, and she literally keeps forwarding her appointments because she doesn't have a migraine. She's like, "I'm so busy and I don't feel like I need it, and I've never had a migraine since." So for me personally, I suffered with migraines due to the barometric pressure and all of that. I have not had a migraine since we've opened. So all of the things that we discount as, "Oh, that's just me. That's part of me.
Right,
Doctors say I'll never get rid of that."
right.
I lived in the doctor world, and doctors truly have a place,
Yes.
but we've been conditioned by big pharma to get another pill for the effects that this pill created. When my sister and I were 13, within 6 months, we were on 13 medications for muscular dystrophy, curable form. Half of those medications were for symptoms of the other medication.
Yeah, exactly.
At age 30, when we did a deep dive into nutrition, because doctors never spoke to us about nutrition,
Because they're not
they're
taught
not
that.
trained. That's changing.
Well,
It is. We started really paying attention to what we put in our body. Within 5 months, I was medication free, symptom free, and have not been on prednisone or any of those medications. And I'm 57. That was 27 years ago.
yeah, and that's the thing. People don't understand that you get a pill to fix a pill to get a pill, and it's an ongoing thing. It's
And
just
it's
ongoing.
really a big business to keep you sick.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely it is.
So, the thing about the center is that it's healing you from the inside out. and your body knows what needs healing. You literally just have to trust the process. And I,
Exactly.
I wear a shirt, it says, "Be still and know." The hardest thing I have found for people is to be still.
Especially in this day and age.
We
It's like
have
go, 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 go all
Oh,
the time.
we have 50 apps that constantly ding for our attention. We've got phones beeping at us. We've got all the things. And it's a tool of the devil to keep
It
us
is.
in a busy state, in an automated state of distraction, so that we cannot be who God intended us to be. And so when you go into the center and you are still and you are unplugged and you are recharging, it is truly a spiritual encounter if you are spiritually inclined. And for those that understand that, there is nothing like it. Nothing like it. The center works emotionally, physically, and spiritually.
And so many times they're all interconnected. And
Absolutely.
we have so much mental health issues out there.
Yes.
And a place like this is perfect for that.
Okay, so you led me right into a couple more of my favorite testimonies. So we do a 25% discount for veterans, for officers, police, ambulance drivers, those
First responders.
first responders.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And especially for the veterans, the PTSD,
Oh, it's huge.
a lot of people that have come admittedly are self-medicating to mask the trauma that they went through in war, and they come out and they are in tears. They feel lighter, they sleep better, they're getting off of all the self inflicted medications and drugs and alcohol that they're coping and masking their symptoms, and it has been so amazing.
Well, and you were talking about alcoholism or just alcohol in general. People do use that just to get by because it forgets what's truly out there, what the real problem is.
Right.
And things like this, a place like this, will help replace what is needed.
Yes.
And you don't have to use the alcohol or the drugs or anything else.
And on along those same topics, like, we have had people come in and I had one guy come in and he had a gallon Ziploc bag full of medications, psychotic, manic, all the things. He's like, "Can I still take all of these?" Well, he didn't feel a thing. Well, you can't feel a thing when you're that medicated.
Right.
So, we're very clear to say it's a whole picture. I've been a wellness coach for 27 years. We offer free wellness evaluation. We run a machine that'll give you 11 points of interest. We talk to you about nutrition, about changing habits, about releasing things that are not good for you, because it is a whole picture. If you walk out of this center and then go tank yourself up with alcohol and cigarettes, you just did this for nothing.
Right.
So I'm
It's
very,
a lifestyle change.
it is a lifestyle change. And that's why it fit perfectly with our, my previous, occupation as a wellness coach, is because this was the missing link. Honestly, this was at the cellular level. Like, our products that we deal with are amazing. They regenerate you, but there is nothing like electric. We're electric beings.
We are.
Everything is energy. And sometimes we take better care of others
Your
and
dogs.
your dogs and your house than we take care of ourselves.
Right. That's very true. All right. So I know we talked about your background already a little bit, being the health and wellness coach. So you were talking about it just flowing right into how do you see this business growing in the next 5 years? I just see it exploding, honestly.
Okay. So, number one, timing is divine, because Robert F. Kennedy is releasing the frequency healings.
Yes.
5 years ago, people would have thought this was voodoo.
Right.
And to this day, some still,
The woo woo.
yeah, the woo woo. Some still are like, woo. But if you do your research and you really take a look at, the 1800s and the bells that they rang that had healing frequencies and all of the things that,
Well, even the crystals that they would
the
wear in the
crystal,
Bible. I mean, they're talking about the
absolutely.
priest. I mean,
Yes.
it's right there, guys.
It's,
And we've just moved past it. It's like we forgot that.
well, and it's because if you're healed, companies can't make money on you.
That's exactly right.
So we are in a different age. We are in a reawakening America to the reality of the ways that we have been fooled. We have been robbed of our health, of our money, and I cannot be more excited. So we run a great referral program. One of the ways we are growing our business phenomenally well is a referral program. When you come to the center, and you experience the energy enhancement system and you get results, it's like going to a great movie or a good restaurant, even a bad restaurant. People talk.
Oh, yeah.
People talk about the bad better than they talk about the good,
Yeah,
but we
exactly.
reward you for talking about the good.
Yes.
So when you send a client that has never been to our healing center to do a paid 2-hour session, you get a free 2-hour session.
Well, you can't beat that.
No, $90 value
Yeah.
for opening your mouth and sharing another way to be healed.
Yeah, that worked for you.
That worked for you. Absolutely.
Why would you not do that? Right.
Yes.
So
I-
I did want to, you brought up the woo-woo kind of thing, the skepticism. Is there a way that we as humans and as far as the health people go, how can we deter that skepticism? How do we get that out there, that information?
okay. So, skepticism does have its place. I mean, people have that intuition for a reason. So, I always say it's natural. Skepticism is natural and it's not all bad.
No, it's not.
Like me, I was skeptical at first. I'm like, I'd sit in a chair, sleep, and get well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta see it. And so what we really do is we usually explain that our bodies are made up of energy.
Yes, they are.
This is energy. Our cells rely on electrical communications to function, and the EE system does exactly that. It creates an environment where your cells are charged and you electrically get stronger and cleaner. It cleans your blood, it oxygenates your blood. So if you've had anything that you've taken in the past 5 years that might be coagulating your blood and causing blood clots and things like that, this system cleans, oxygenates, and allows your blood to separate and flow like it used to before those demanded things that were done around the COVID era.
I'm gonna bring up something around that area.
Okay.
I know a lot of people, when they go and have their blood tested now, the cells inside the bloods have actually started stacking on the top of each other.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and when that happens, your cells are not being able to get everything that they need once they separate. And so it's really important to make sure that you make sure that your blood is flowing correctly, because if it's stacked up like quarters, it's not getting the full surface. And those, what do you call it? The radical.
Free radicals.
Yeah, free radicals will just tear you up if you don't get that blood straightened out.
Right. And I have a first grade analogy on that I'll share, but the importance is that it oxygenates your blood, it oxygenates your cells, and it allows that free flow. So before I got into the wellness industry, I heard the term free radicals, but I never understood that. So when you cut an apple and you leave it on the counter and you come back 30 minutes later, what does it do?
It's brown.
It turns brown.
Yeah.
That's oxidation, right?
Okay.
The lemon juice on the apple is helping the free radicals to not oxidate your cells.
Okay.
So this, in essence, is the lemon juice on that apple to keep your cells from turning brown and oxidizing. So free radicals are everywhere. They're in the foods, the sodas you choose to drink, the alcohol, the air, the gas you pump, all of that.
Everything.
Everything. And so, I think, first of all, allowing them to be skeptical and meeting them where they're at is key, because I was that way. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. What I did is I just tested it out. So instead of me trying to analytically explain the science to you, just do a session
Try it.
and figure it out. And it's kind of like the light switches. I don't understand Albert Einstein and how he created that, and I really don't care to understand it. I just want to go flip the switch and get some light when I need some light. That's what it's doing. You're flipping a switch. You're putting your body in that environment. It's non-invasive. Nobody touches you.
There are no side effects.
There's absolutely no reason. We've had pregnant women. One of my favorite testimonies, I had a lady with preeclampsia came in and she carried her baby to term. She came in and did 1 2-hour session. I had a lady that had a miscarriage 3 years prior. She had never had a normal cycle before her pregnancy and did not have a cycle after her pregnancy for 3 years. She went in the center, and in an hour and 10 minutes, she came out, and she's Hispanic, and I speak Spanish. And so she was just like, she was white as a ghost. And I was like, "Are you okay?" And she told me in Spanish, she said, "No, I'm not okay." And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she said, "I felt my ovaries." And I said, "Well, that's a good thing, right?" And she was in tears because she had never felt her ovaries. And I said, "It's okay. It's okay. Do you want to go back for your 50 minutes?" She goes, "No, I'm just, I can't believe it." I said, "Call me when you start your cycle." 3 days later, my phone rings and she could not even talk. She called me, she picked up the phone, and I was just like, "Hola, Mari." And we had a conversation. She started her cycle. She wanted a baby so bad.
Oh, bless her.
It resets your body. And so your body knows what needs healing. These machines do not heal you. God and your body that He designed is what heals you.
Absolutely. He's the ultimate, right? He
Abs-
is the ultimate.
Amen. Amen.
All right, so tell me about the packages. What kind of
Okay,
packages do you guys have and the prices?
for sure. First of all, HSA cards, health savings account. A lot of companies make you put money into a health savings account. Like my husband works at Cooper, and we have a health savings account. So health savings account work. Sometimes, like the teachers, they put into it, they come in, they pay, and then they file on their HSA card and they get reimbursed. So, not yet, but we are promoting because of all the fabulous changes that one day insurance will cover it. But
Absolutely.
you will spend more going and getting your hair done or your nails and toes done than you will coming and getting healing. So,
And guys, that stuff is not the important stuff.
no, and what I always tell people is put their money where the priorities are. People say they don't have money, but then you look at the lifestyle, or their kids are in dance for $600 a month or $900 a month or
Yeah.
travel ball or whatever it is. And so our packages, like, the more you get up front, the cheaper it is. So a 1 hour package, and it is on our website. The easiest URL for the website is www.ee4, so EEFORME.info. And the packages are right on there. But it's $60 for a 1 hour session. It's $90 for a 2 hour session, which is a complete full session. And then you can buy packages. We have a lot of people that will buy packages and share it with their husband and wife and their family. So, like, you can get a 20 hour package that makes it $25 an hour. You can't get that price anywhere else. You can't even go get a massage nowadays
You
for
can't eat at Taco
$140.
Bell for that.
Exactly. If people look at what they spend on fast food alone and reallocate for health and wellness, it's a no-brainer.
It's a
So
no-brainer.
the packages are we have tiered packages. You can buy 10 hour package. So the 10 hour package, well, actually, you can buy a 6 hour package for $240. 10 hour package is $300. The gold is a 20 hour package is $500. So it's $25 an hour for complete healing, non-invasive.
That's just unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Okay, looking ahead, like I said, we were talking about what do you see in 5 years. I can really see insurance, like you were saying. Right
Yes,
now, insurance doesn't cover it. Hopefully, in the next few years, that will start taking place where we can actually choose how we want to be
absolutely.
healed,
Absolutely.
and not just put a band-aid over the top of it.
Yes. And so we have a couple of things in the works, and I'm a little leery to say, and I say we because my twin sister owns a center as well in San Antonio, and we work together on all of these things. We are working on avenues for government funding and grants and things like that we've been in the works for a year. It's kind of structured differently now and all the changes, but we're believing for that because with that, we want to put in different modalities like a hyperbaric chamber, a scan that will actually read your energy and your track it. So the other thing that I really wanted to explain on the thing that we do now, and we just started doing it, it has been so amazing. Have you ever heard of emotion codes and trapped emotions?
Well, I know that they can be put into your organ, like
They can be put
anger.
anywhere.
Okay, and
So my twin and I actually do healing codes. So, and we've run a promotion for the last 2 months. If you do a 2 hour session, we do the healing codes. It's a 1 hour session. It's typically $50 for the healing session. But have you ever been planning a vacation? Right.
yeah,
So you get so excited. My husband just went on a vacation, and all guys trip with my sister's husband. They planned for a month. They did nothing but prep for a month,
right, right.
and so excited and buy this and that. And the energy that you create from that, they were thrilled. And it was almost anticlimactic when they got there because it took them a month to
Right,
get
yeah.
there, right? But that emotion, that stirring was excitement. with my sister and I both, we have never been able to watch scary movies, horror movies, anything like that. If I do, I physically shake like I'm cold. I internalize that negative energy. I take it to bed with me. I have nightmares. I don't sleep. Like, so I've learned early on in my life, I just don't watch TV. I don't put any of that into my soul, into my spirit. And so when we encounter situations, it's normal to have traumatic situations.
Yeah.
But if you have a traumatic situation and then having a traumatic emotional response to that, that emotion can and does get lodged all over your body.
Mhm.
And so we have a protocol in which we use questions. It's all done through the power of the Holy Spirit. We speak energetically. You don't say a word. I don't say a word, except you give me a truth and a non-truth so I can establish the pendulum, yes and no. And from then on, it's an energy conversation with different modalities of different through an app that goes through 6 different points, and it's not one and done. It's like 6 to 10 sessions. Everyone has trapped emotions. So and I'll give you a couple of examples. Like, we had a lady that she was a teenager, 18, a senior. Her legs constantly hurt. She had MRIs. She had been to all the doctors, scans, blood work, you name it, hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to figure out what was wrong with her. We did healing codes on her. She had trapped emotions that were lodged in her knee. We released them, and she's at college on a full ride. And that
Wow.
was 6 months ago. I've had kids. We've done surrogate using the parent because the child was too young, releasing trapped emotions in children. I had a lady that lost her father 10 years ago, and I was with her when it happened, a dear friend of mine. And last week, it was lodged and discovered that was in her gallbladder, and she had her gallbladder removed 4 years ago. I took her to the ER. And so, and it had lodged in another organ. So we literally identify what it is, where it is, and release it through magnetism and prayer. And then once you do the healing codes, you go into the healing center and you relax and you let the energy do the work. And it has been totally amazing. And sometimes, like, if it's a physical response and it's lodged physically somewhere, this athlete immediately saw response. If it's an emotional trigger, or a spiritual trigger, sometimes it takes a few weeks before you encounter that same situation. And then you encounter that situation and you realize, hey, I handled that different. It
Right.
didn't trigger me. I didn't have a panic attack. I didn't have XYZ. And that's when you realize it. Much like the center. Sometimes you walk out and you're thinking, "Oh, I didn't feel anything." It doesn't matter if you feel anything or if you believe it works, it works.
Yeah.
It's trust the process, be still and know, and do the work. And so when you go in there, and I'll close with this, when you go in there, I see squirrels. We talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I'm
Lots of
like,
them.
woo, woo. So and I hope you'll go in there and show a
Yeah, I
quick
will.
visual.
Yeah.
But the screens run on alternating sequences. And so some are fast and some are slow. So when we went to Dallas, there wasn't anybody to tell us any of this. Don't stare at the screens. Don't try to figure it out. When you open your eyes and you are distracted, playing on your phone, reading, you don't do anything. You lay there. Most people enjoy the best sleep ever. You lose 80% of the effectiveness, and the technology, which is based on Tesla technology, is designed to work when you are still and meditating and praying and resting in the knowing. And that's what I want to encourage people to know, is that whether you believe it or not, the best way is just to come test it out, do the detox bath, and then pay super close attention to what you thought was your normal. And is it still there?
That's great. Wow. I look so forward to getting to know you better, and I'm ready for a session. So let's go.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Donya.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we are out of here. You guys come see her. Again, what is your location?
We're at 4059 Summerhill Road. We're in the Summerhill Square, right across from Texas High. Super easy to find, right by Julie's Deli. Super easy to find. ee4me.info is our website. You can find all of that. And I would say go to our Facebook page, because a lot of what we do on our Facebook page is really educate people on energy, on mindset, on testimonies, on things like that. And it's Arklatek's EEnergy Healing Center on Facebook.
All right, and I'm gonna put this at the edge so you'll have all the information to be able to reach out to her. Thank you so much.
It's been a blessing.
I've been enjoying it. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.